And hello, good people of the internet. It is I, Tommy Kelly, and this is Adventures in Woo Woo. And in this episode, I just want to talk about what I think the effective level is of magic, what you can do and what you can't do, particularly around kind of health issues and stuff like that, because this is kind of what we've been engulfed in recently. So I did put out the bind sigil. It's probably a fortnight ago at this stage, maybe less, which was a kind of a 40 servants combination sigil to kind of help during the coronavirus, and it had the protector in it, had the healer in it, had the sun, and it's on the link is in the show description if you want to check that out. But it's kind of then like you have to ask the question: is do I actually think that magic can stop me getting the coronavirus, or anyone get the coronavirus, or for that matter, could magic heal me from a life-threatening disease such as, I don't know, cancer, or could I turn back diabetes and stuff like this? And I remember years ago I was talking to a guy, and he was an African guy. Who came over to Ireland. He was called Noel, and I'm sure his name wasn't Noel, but that they took on the Irish names when they came over. And he was a doctor, and he was talking to me because at that time I was in college, and I was doing holistic health studies, and we were just talking about kind of holistic health studies and Reiki in particular. And he was going like, well, does it work? Like, would it cure diabetes? And I was kind of going, I don't think, I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, it could from the kind of, I think from a placebo point of view, you can probably maybe cure anything if given the right kind of circumstance, the right belief in what's going on around you, how good you think the doctors are, how much you trust it, how much you trust in, if the placebo kind of response is set up, I think there's definitely some people going to cure themselves from diabetes, because you hear these kind of spontaneous remissions from things like cancer and all that can't be explained, and people, on many a documentary, whether these are to be believed or not, going, oh, once I just let it all go. Now, I don't know how helpful that is, but, I'm not discounting it, I probably is what I'm saying at the end of it. I don't discount the fact that placebo could probably cure you from something like diabetes, whatever. And I was kind of taken back by him and asked him, because I was going, oh, he's definitely coming from a medical point of view. And I kind of, so my answer was, I don't know. And he goes, well, if you think it does, say it does, because he was then started talking about Christian Science, and says, well, it definitely works. It's like there is a response. People do get better by this kind of Christian Science type of thing. And he wasn't being kind of too woo woo about it. He's going like, there's something happens. It's this kind of thing. The problem, of course, is with that is when you hear the stories about the parents who wouldn't let their kids have medical treatment because they were just leaving it up to God, or letting just praying for it and stuff, and then they die. And we've all heard terrible stories like that. So while I think magic is at least as effective as engaging the placebo response and say something around healing, or in this kind of pandemic of corona, COVID-19, like we've all had coronavirus, allegedly or supposedly. It's just this kind of strain of it. So it's like around that kind of thing, that if you do magic and stuff, you're at least engaging or trying to engage the placebo response. Above and beyond that, I don't know, and it would depend on the day you ask me and about what I think magic is. Like I am not overly convinced on the kind of whole thing of magic as a real bunny ears real thing. I think I've always said that the better question is it useful? So I find it useful. I find it useful that acting as if magic is real, and looking at life from that kind of point of view, and having a bit more of a kind of a Discordian, I suppose, although I don't really use that word too often, but having a kind of Discordian view in life definitely seems to have an effect that appears to be like magic. But as Spud was saying to me on the podcast recently, is that not just fooling yourself? But it is, and I mean, one definition of magic that I kind of toyed with for a while was that magic is fooling yourself into getting everything you ever wanted. And like that thing is that like you can't engage the placebo response without kind of some sort of trickery. And this is why we have the idea, I suppose, of magic tricks. It's a way to engage these things. So ultimately, can the bind sigil, what is it doing? What do I think it's doing? I think it's calming people. No, I can't talk about other people. I can tell you what I'm using for. It's calming me. It gives me a focus to stop kind of if I get into the kind of fear, or if I get into the you know, that kind of train of, oh, you know, things are getting out of control. It's a focus point to bring me back to that, to go, right, things are, you know, put it in a bit in perspective. And that, is it healing me? Is it protecting me from coronavirus? In some ways, I think it is, because of that, because I'm not giving in to the fear. I'm not doing any sort of self-fulfilling prophecy by, you know, the whole thing of worrying about something to the fact that you create that in your life. But I mean, if I went into a hospital and I started drawing it in the, you know, the coronavirus wards and stuff, would there be an increase in people, you know, recovering? Or, you know, if I put it into a home where there's one of these clusters in Ireland where more people are getting it, would it stop that? I don't think so. I mean, no more than a placebo. I don't know. You see, it's like, my overall thing is that I think it should be used as a complementary medicine when it comes to healing, or when it comes to anything. I think, like, it shouldn't be the thing that you rely on for anything, be that for getting a job, getting love, or, you know, finances, whatever. It should be a thing that backs up these things. And if it is a probability enhancement, you definitely should be doing all the different things that you can do to, you know, decrease or increase the probability of whatever it is you want to happen or not want to happen. So I think in regards to magic and healing, and magic and the coronavirus, or magic and any of these type of things, I would, and I do, see it as a complementary medicine approach. And I, for one, if something is wrong with me, go to the doctor and back it up with any kind of magic, healing, Reiki, energy healing, prayer, petitions, or whatever it is. So I do definitely think magic can have a response to sickness, to this coronavirus, to all of these things, to at least the placebo level, and then depending on the day and how woo-woo I'm feeling, more than that. So my only concern would be that people would think that it's the only thing, you know, that it's enough to keep them safe, and that, you know, you can't, you know, if you have the divine sigil or whatever magic you're doing, not just the divine sigil, if you have done magic, then you know, you're kind of impervious to all of the things going on around you. Because as Mitch Horowitz says, like, that whole thing of, while we do create our universe, we do certainly colour the universe around us by our thoughts and our beliefs, and you know, the law of attraction or the secret ever seems to you know, if you do kind of have these beliefs or these thoughts or put out these vibes, man, you know, you get that return to you. Like, no matter where you go, there you are, all of that stuff. But as he says, that's just one factor of it. It's a big factor, but it's one factor. There's plenty of other influences going about. There's plenty of other things at play, and so you have to be aware of that. And so that in your magic, don't be stupid with your magic. You know, don't give up. Don't be the parents who only use prayer and don't let their kid, you know, get medical treatment because they think, you know, that's what to do. Be the parent or the person who gets medical treatment, who is safe, who does the social distancing, who does all the things around whatever it is that you're dealing with. In this case, in the, you know, the coronavirus, whatever, we do all the things backed up with magic, complementary. You know, reducing those probabilities, increasing the probabilities and other things that, you know, your life is going to improve, decreasing all of these things. Use all of the tools that are available to us. You know, let's use the medical stuff, because it works. Like, of course it works. We all have our kind of concerns about, you know, big pharma and all of these things, and you can go as conspiracy as you want and all that. But I had a serious problem with a rash, as a lot of you know from the videos over the last year, around my eyes, and did everything. I got the healing, I did the magic, the sigils, and all had effect. It certainly did have an effect. But the thing that got rid of it was an antibiotic. And that's just the way it is. Sometimes antibiotics are more effective than magic. Sometimes magic are more effective than, you know, other things. But I would be playing it safe with all of this stuff. So that's kind of where I am with that. I probably would be more kind of confident with it if my approach to magic wasn't just acting as if it's real, and if I came from the kind of point of view that magic is absolutely real, which I'm not. I'm not convinced of it. I'm not invincible in the Gordon White sense at all. And I like having this kind of skeptic thing. It's not that it's not that I'm skeptical or that I'm afraid to you know, fully commit to it. It's not that. I think it's a healthy type of thing of to stick to the chaos magic protocols of acting as if, you know, nothing is true, even that includes that magic is real. Nothing is true, but everything is permitted. Let's act as if. So that's enough rambling for today. Good people of the internet, be safe, be kind to each other. We need more kindness in the world, and be well, and may our best days be ahead.